to the Big Fish interview segment of 60 Minutes Live. As I talked earlier, the media have been washed with political matters, political issues, about candidates, about primaries, about every other thing, about the campaign, and all whatnot. And 60 Minutes has been doing justice to that like every other medium. But we discover that politics is not only about it. What makes politics to be thick is when your environment is clean and good. So today, as I said, I am presenting to you a formidable Nigerian, a barrister at law, a legal luminary, the man who corrected the government when they wanted to go haywire while he was still not yet in government. Remember when there was an issue of arrest and detention of persons. By then, Chief Willie Amadi was still was the ombudsman, and every other person was. He came up and called a press conference and drew the attention of those in governance and in government and the handling in the in law that this is that, and that brought down tension in Imo State. And I better be after that, because you don't know whatever you do. People watch, people look. You don't know what it will culminate into. After his exit from the federal service work, the Imo State governor, Hope Uzodinma, found him fit and appointed him the chief technical advisor to the governor on environment. A very large portfolio. Environment touches about everything. Tell me what is not in the environment. That's even the air is part of the environment. So I'm welcoming the Ukwachaka one of Owerri, Chief Willie Amadi. Welcome to 60 Minutes Live.
Thank you, Tony, for having me. Good morning, viewers.
Yes, sir. I don't want to start romancing with you. I want to start with action, because I have been inviting you, but because of the exigence of duties, you've not been able. Last week you agreed, but the Ekiti election that was screened live on NTA prevented us. But today, let me start this way. This is rainy season, and the environment is all about rains and the control of flood. Then the balloon technology constructed by government, no doubt by my own judgment, is working out. During the rains, I've traveled out. I drove around twice to see whether the so-called balloon technology is really effective and efficient. And I discovered that even along Okigbe Road, as the rains are going, you see the water going away. I went to Rata, the thing will just come, all of them will go away. Even government house around about area, some area of a new water here, and some areas in World Bank. So, but again, there are some minor areas like Akpakuma and Jeriba adjoining streets like School Road, Ihuba, and all those areas. Are there plans to make them feel free, like people in the Ikenebu area? They are now, even those landlords. I went there, I saw one landlord during the rain. He was looking from his door. I parked. I went under the rain. I said, by this time, 2 years ago, how was it? I wasn't here. I abandoned this place because of the flood. But now, this place is a GRA. So, what do you have to say about it? And what government doing to make sure that all over areas are deflooded?
Well, Tony, you see, we needed, as a matter of fact, to recalibrate the environment going forward. And when His Excellency invited me to come in and add my value, I made several proposals which was discussed and approved. The balloon technology is the most recent technology used all over the world. And I can tell you, in the entire West Africa, Imo State is the first state that it was applied. And we had a tremendous result. If you check the area you mentioned, I live in Federal Housing Estate. And most of my neighbors, like Engineer Zuboku, who was an engineer that helped in designing the Federal Housing Estate, his late now, may so rest in peace. The wife had to pack out. They live opposite me. My house got flooded several times and with devastating losses. Now, with the balloon technology, the entire federal housing, prefab, Mbano, streets, all those environments are completely saved. The water comes in, goes into the central tunnel and is channeled across Cebu Road into the Atame River. Now, the governor haven't realized the efficacy of that technology. Now went again to works laid out by shoe industry. You know where the advanced medical hospital, where Dr. Uzodinma lives in that environment. All the houses there are half sunk.
Yes.
So we started that technology again that will take you through rapport across Olu Road into the Mori. The work has gone so far that it will be difficult to see any flooding in the whole of Warri Capital Territory by next rainy season. And once that is done, then we are good to go. For the other areas you talked about, we intend to, at the end of the entire project this year, we will now open all the manholes, all the connective manholes into the main channel. Some of those manholes are blocked with tires, all sorts of debris, and as soon as you open it up during the rainy season, during the dry season, then by the next rain, you see a flow, a seamless flow of all these flood. So that is the position on the issue of the balloon technology.
Okay, let me just add this there to maybe to residents, because in around Oji Road, Okigwe Road used to be a bad area, and I discovered before now the gutters were cleared, and some other areas that I mentioned, maybe that could have been their problem. Is there any enlightenment program that government is carrying out to tell the people, since the environmental sanitation exercise has kind of been played down, for people to clean their gutters? Or is government thinking about employing people to do what they did along Oji, so that when the rains comes, they find a way to move off?
Yeah, when you come to Oji Road, you know, from Oji up to Imsu Junction, up to former DSS headquarters, Civil Defense headquarters,
office.
You know, there used to be very big flooding.
Yeah.
Now, that flooding is now controlled. Having captured the Uzodinma prefab Chukwumanwoha axis, the storm water coming from Oji will come to Imsu Junction. Okay. There's a very big connecting basin that also takes it on that gutter up to the civil defense by Patamadi Crescent, and then after Patamadi Crescent you have Lake Mwebere. Lake Mwebere is in Uzodinma near the old post. You know this post office where you have boxes.
Yeah.
From there you cross over to Uzodinma by Wayek Junction.
Okay.
That catchment zone will not take the flood water straight to Chukwumanwoha by MCC Road and enter into the main basin. Okay. That will not take it straight from Chukwumanwoha to Ebu Road and then into Atame. By the time we connect them, you see a seamless flow of flood current. Asking tenants to deseal their gutters is not elegant. It is the duty of government to do that. And once in a while, government will provide the funds for gutters to be desealed. Okay. And they're usually done during dry season, interval between dry season and rainy season, so that you will be able to scoop up everything, you know, within the tunnels and the manholes. So it is the duty of government to do that, and I would believe that at the end of rainy season, we'll prepare all the drainages and the gutters for the next coming rainy season.
Okay, I've been having the Chief Technical Advisor to the Governor on Environment, Chief Willie Amadi. Well, this is my first time of hearing a government person saying that it is the duty of the government to desilt the gutters. Because if not, others will say, residents come out, it's your neighborhood, you have to do that, you have to do that. But again, I believe that there should be social responsibility from the part of the people.
Of course, they can compliment.
Okay, that's good. Compliment. So, sir, yes, let's move forward. If you want to join us, you can join us via Facebook by typing NTA Owerri Live on your Facebook or your YouTube. You will join us live, and it will be there for as long as you watch, and this is streamed live both Nigeria and all over the world. I'm talking with Chief Willie Amadi, the Uchpachaka one of Owerri, Mudo one of Imo State. Yes. So as I'm progressing, let me ask him this question. There are what you may call the model junctions in Owerri, metropolis or capital today. We used to have median cross everywhere. When motorists want to drive, this one come from here, you see a lot of bottlenecks at the traffic point. And with all these our brothers and sisters who are from orientation, who creates more trouble than the thing. You see, or what will be blocked and shut down. You'll be asking, what is the problem? But I've gone around too. I'm a practical person. I don't do image laundering because there are areas, when I see what is good, I'll say it is good. When I see the one that is not well, I'll say it open and clear. So, we've seen some junctions like the Wedra by MCC Road, Hadel and then Nick Junction in Oji, Relief Market by Nwatorocha, MCC Junction, leading to New Market, and motorists use all these next U-turns there instead of everybody crossing. Even at government house, the way it is fashioned that when you obey the traffic light, you get here, you move in here, go and turn at this place. Then even as get to Cherubim, because there was a day I was caught up that one. I was heading to somewhere, and I didn't know that that place had been blocked, that the U-turn has to be after the Chicken Republic something. Yeah. So, but when I saw that, I had no more traffic along that road. So that is a very good creative work of government, but some of us are not aware. So, but there are areas like Ebu by Mission Road, Christiana Junction, which at every season, even weekends, because I'll be traveling to Mbise today, I like leaving early because once it is from 4 o'clock.
Bring palm wine for me.
Yes, I will do that. I promise. Yeah. I'll get the time. So, what government plan to especially extend this good work to Christiana Junction and Ebu by Mission Road, or so that there will be no bottleneck and motorists will drive and move with ease, beating time, knowing that time is money?
Well, thank you. I'm so glad and very happy that that engagement is appreciated, particularly by the media, because most commuters called me on a number of occasions to thank me for that initiative. I have this is my village. Mm-hmm. Yes, Owerri is my village.
Okay.
I was born here and I grew up here. And I know the character of so many things, character of traffic, and with the growing population and activities, commercial activities, I sat back and looked at certain junctions, Wedra Road by MCC Road across School Road, Douglas Road by Lagos Street across West End, Hadel and Nenik Junction going to Chief Iwanyanwe's place, Azomta Cathedral Road by Zuma Junction opposite Holy Ghost College going into New Owerri, and so many other places, Relief Markets Junction by Nwatorocha, Relief Market Junction by Ebu Road, and all those ones. So I looked at it, and each time during peak period and festive period, you see vehicles from the four ends jam themselves at that junction, and nobody will move. And then you see these traffic wardens that are more mercantile than even easing the traffic. If you give them money, they stop a moving lane for just a vehicle to pass, and then they'll pursue you to collect money. I designed putting a median across it so that you now have two participants. If you are coming from this side, you go right, make a U-turn and go where you are going. If you are coming from the opposite direction, you go right again, make a U-turn and then come this way. So those junctions are now self-controlling. You don't see human beings there again. Yeah. If you Chukuma, Moha, and all those places, MCC, Wedra Road, Ikenebu, by Cherubin, all those ones, you don't see any human beings. And that gives me joy. I even enjoy them. Whenever I go there and I make a U-turn, like what you see in Lagos and Abuja, you go a little bit, make a U-turn, and nobody is talking to anybody again. Now, on the issue of Christiana Hospital by Ebu Road and then Mission by Emekuku, leading to Chief Martin Abaso's residence. Now, we are concluded arrangements to do that. By next month, we would have created channels for people to get into Christiana Hospital area. Thank God the governor has virtually gotten to Toronto Junction on MCC Road. So people can now access the whole of that area using MCC Road. The MCC Road is now at Toronto Junction with all the drainages from Wedra Road to Chukwumangoha Junction up straight to Toronto. So by the time the rainy season comes down and the asphalts are done, people who are going to that area will merely pass through MCC Road. So we are going to block that entrance and exit so that there will be no traffic congestion at that point. The issue of emission, we are trying to think of the best way to handle that. And I believe that we'll come up with a solution. But this other one will take place next month.
The Christiana, what of the Christiana on?
It will take place next month.
Okay, yeah. That's good. I remember Chief Hakim, when he was the governor, he said, suffer a little and then
sacrifice a little
and enjoy forever. That was his slogan. That was when they were working on Ojiro, dualizing how many kilometers that entered the road, and people then were just buttoning. So maybe when this job starts, we need to sacrifice a little and enjoy forever. So that is a very good one. But sir, let me go to this way. And you said here that, as you said, which is a fact, that Owerri is your village. Even by mentioning the roads, the streets, the junctions, and every other corner, anybody who doesn't know should know, say this is the shan of the soil. Yes, sir. We have a road here called Douglas Road. Douglas Road used to be one of the most popular roads or streets in Owerri. And every other government that comes has something to do with that Douglas Road. And that's from where, from Aba Road, vehicles, heavy-duty vehicles will pass, get to Bank Road and take off and da-da-da-da-da. But today, the place is now a market 24 hours. That everywhere there is a parking lot for commercial vehicles. So if you see all these trucks that are supposed to pass that way to ease, allow the new roads not to have too many waits, pass through the smaller roads coming to Emmanuel College, you see there a lot of pressure. What is government doing? Is there any fearful thing? Because some people are speculating it's because of the household domination of that area is making government not to come out to say enough is enough on Douglas Road, car park, market, and every other society. It has turned into robbers den. You are not in security, but you are chief technical advisor to the governor on environment. Everything works on your table. So what are the plans to decongest and clear Douglas Road, even if by putting barriers so that street traders does not come back?
Well, I have had several meetings with the Commissioner for Transport, Honorable Rex Angnobi, on that issue. After the governor gave me a charge to ensure that Douglas Road is cleared. Douglas Road is a presidential route. During Mbakwe and other governors, including Chifa Uzodinma and even Ikejo Hakim, Douglas Road was a presidential route from the airport. You drive straight to Douglas Road, come out at Port Harcourt Road, go right, and then get into the government house. And but the problem of Douglas Road was caused by the demolition of Ikuku and the new market. As soon as those markets were demolished, all the traders in those markets moved into Douglas Road. And you remember the way Ramana Ekukwewere was demolished and the fallout of all those issues by the former administration.
Yeah.
They didn't have the political will to remove those traders because they did not provide alternatives. So they settled there. And the thing continued into Emeka House administration and where we are. Well, as an indigene, I have had to meet with the Sariki Awusa on 2 occasions, and he gave me his assurance. I met with the youths of the 5 autonomous communities. Incidentally, Douglas Road cuts across the 5 autonomous communities of Owerri Municipal. And the youths, like in every other environment, collect tolls from markets. That's how they run their youth government and do all their programs. We have discussed with them, and they have assured me that once an alternative is provided for them, they will help in decongesting that. Now, what I have done is to propose to government that we should use the old market that is now housing a very funny mother and child hospital, an EDP that is completely empty, to bring back all these traders back to that market, pending when government will have a program of implementation, and the governor has approved that. And the next thing, immediately after the rains, that will be implemented. I will lead the government to get Douglas Road open. It's an assurance I've given His Excellency. And you know, sometimes you don't play into political traps. And I'm taking it easy, but I'm giving you an assurance on this program today that after the rainy seasons, Douglas Road will be passable. And one of the things that will also enhance its use is that heavy-duty trucks will be banned from passing through Wedra Road. There will be a barricade, a 10-feet barricade that will stop them, even at night, from using that Wedra Road. So all of them will be forced to use the Douglas Road. And once Douglas Road becomes very busy, day and night with those long haulages, petrol tankers, nobody will be on the streets to stop them. So we are going to do that, and you enjoy it. Okay,
that's a good assurance coming from the Ukwanchaka Umudo one of Imo State. Since I've known him during the 2007-2011 when he was government, he is the man they call Tokunadu. So there's no fear to say that the assurances he has given here will not be complemented. And I'm talking with the Chief Technical Advisor to the Governor on Environment, Chief Willie Amadi. And if you want to join us live, you can get us on YouTube and Facebook by typing in NTA Owerri Live. You will get us there. Like as I said, maybe next time when you come here, I'll put up a phone for those of you who feel aggrieved when he was the man who told you to clear your government, clear your refuse and your shanties. If you want to ask him a question, you ask him. He can want to support you. He is a very good man.
All things are passed away.
Things are passed away. We are good to know. That's a good one. So our government has continuously taken care of the grasses and the ornamental trees planted all over, making Owerri look good. But some of these trees have been removed in some certain areas because some of these trees were planted during Hakim administration when he came up with the idea of clean and green beautification of Imo State and other. Well, that time Imo was good with shrubs and grasses, but government has tried to make them clean because I saw some of these grass cutters in some places, especially in the New Owerri when they do those things. But again, there's this rumor, or I don't know whether the governor said that he's going to plant about 1 million trees or shrubs or beautification trees to further beautify Imo State or Owerri so that it can go back to its former glory. Is this a fact, and is it realizable, and when do we expect tree planting or ornamental shrubs to come up on the streets of Owerri again?
Yeah, I can confirm to you that it's not a rumor. It's part of the Trade-Out Urban Renewal Program, which the governor sought and got our inputs into it, and he desires to create a garden state out of Imo State. In 2007 to 11, we had a lot of trees along Ebu Road coming into Owerri, Yaradua Drive, Akanchawa, House of Assembly, Links Hotel, and the road leading to Denwa Estate and all those things. Some of them did not survive, and they were not replaced by successive government. And one of my greatest regrets is that I didn't have opportunity to really conclude what I started, because there was a very huge disconnect. After that administration, no administration has been able to place a handle on that project. But I thank God that the governor is desirous to get that back into the system. And he has directed that we should plant trees on virtually all the streets, particularly the new ones that are coming up, both the median and the shoulders. Because when you have a lot of trees, if you go to Calabar and even Abuja, that's a very hot tropical area, the presence of trees brings in oxygen. The trees remove carbon dioxide, which we breathe out, and releases oxygen. So you have a healthy environment free of charge. So if you are talking about 1 million trees, it will be in Owerri, it will be in Orlo, and it will be in Okigwe, the cities that don't have more trees. Those rural areas have a lot of trees. But some of the cities that are commercial cities, you have to do that. But mainly, we are going to do a lot in Owerri Capital Territory. Owerri Capital Territory has not extended beyond Azarebelu up towards Mbise, Inyogugu, more than that. Irete has gone beyond that, going almost up to the bridge, that bridge on Onitsha Road. So it has been changed completely. And if we're able to do that and grass many places, grasses also helps control floods. There's a lot of things to be done. And by the next 1 year, we'll be able to have a city that sometimes most of you, when you come in, you'll be shocked. Because the trees the agency has approved are not all these 2-3 feet trees. We are going to get trees that are about 6-7 feet. That when you come out, you'll be wondering when these trees came up. They are very expensive, but they're cheaper. Because the 2-3 feet trees, when you place them, they are goods. They chop it up, human activities break them, they are not taken. But when you put a very big tree that is as tall as you, it will be difficult to destroy.
Are we thinking the areas like planting mangoes, ube, all those things that
We are
can
going
become,
to make, we are going to make some of them in certain areas,
yes.
like what he has approved that will beautify the House of Assembly complex,
Okay.
which is a world-class House of Assembly. I visited there last week. The contractor that has remodeled the Imo State House of Assembly is the contractor that did the Nigerian House in New York. I met the gentleman and I was amazed. Our House of Assembly will be, for a long time, the most modern House of Assembly in this country. Yeah. And we are going to do the environment. We started job there yesterday. From here, I will still go there to supervise what they are doing. And by the time the House of Assembly will return to session after vacation, I will invite you to come and see what I have done.
Well, that'll be my pleasure to be part of the a good thing that is happening to you. So yes, sir, let's still come back to the same environment. You were in charge of Clean and Green 2007 to 2011 in Imo State, where it was free of refuse. Yeah. And today, if you go to every point, or so many points, you see refuse dumped here. There are no particular points where people say this is where it's designated to dump refuse. That I've seen people in the night dropping the. So, what are you doing, or the government is doing, as the chief technical advisor to the governor, to make sure that we can reenact the situation that it was during our Hakim administration, 2007-2011, when Nemo was beautiful. You can't see refuse anywhere. You can't move around and close your nose. But today, the reverse is the case. So what is really happening? And you're in an environment. What is really happening, sir?
Well, it's a very sad commentary, really. I agree with what you have said. When we left the Hakim administration under the IROMA, Imo State Road Management Agency, and all those stuff, which was supported by the local government, the 27 local governments contributed funds, and they bought several equipment, trucks, payloaders, compactors, D6, graders, caterpillars, tippers, and all those things. But shockingly, when we left, I think it's really amazing. We don't have any record of those equipments. Where they are up to today is a mystery. Now, the Enviro administration came in and started to get some of it. These equipments are very expensive equipment. None of them is less than 50 million. The DCs, a brand new DCs, is about 200 million. Bulldozer. And they tried, but the administration did not last. The Uzodinma administration came in and saw the refuse heap the entire state, and remember he set up a task force that worked for 1 month to remove refuse and community refuse that stretches from here sometimes to half a kilometer.
Yeah, especially along Oji.
All the express road leading into the city. Because for so many months and years, nothing has done in terms of evacuation. So he now decided to buy some of these equipment. 2 street sweepers has arrived. 2 D6 has arrived. There are tippers and some compactors that has come into the wharf. Before the end of next month, maybe they will all arrive in Imo. I have also drawn a template for refuse management. Incidentally, refuse is managed by Imo State Waste Management Agency, created by the Enviro administration, which we inherited. And we've been trying to create a template that they can function with, and then also get the personnel. Now, as soon as we start it, I'm going to give them the template I have used. It's the same. There is nothing new that is happening that I haven't done. I did it and for 3 years back to back, I won the cleanest state capital for the state. So nothing has changed, except that activities have improved and increased. So we got to put a handle on it, and the governor had just appointed a special advisor on waste management last week. And together with him and the director of operation of Imo State Waste Management Agency, we are going to hold a meeting. I will let them know what we are going to do, the placement of waste bin, the night operations. I specialize in night operations, and that's international standard. During my time, I hardly see all these payloaders and the tippers. Even my women sweepers, before 8 o'clock, you won't see them again. But you drive out as you're going to work, you see very clean street. So we are putting all those things together. And I'm asking Imolite to give me between now and September. From September going on, you start seeing the comeback of clean and green.
Okay, that is, they say, health is wealth. By that time, we'll be seeing a beauty of clean and green and breathing in fresh air. Some of these mundane issues that cause diseases would maybe a thing of the past. So let me, before I go to the next question, that this issue talked about the sweepers. Every other time, the sweepers used to be there, but for quite some time now, I don't know whether you are aware, they are no longer there because of lack of payment of their meager salary. As a man in charge of environment, the chief technical advisor to the governor, and this is a part of environment, is there any way you have come across why they have not paid, and is there any way you can assist to ensure that they will be paid so that they can, at least for now, be sweeping the roads early mornings as they do?
Okay, yes. I was asked by His Excellency to take an audit of street sweepers. The street sweeper that was inherited from the previous administration was 810. And I told him, His Excellency, that there is no way you have 800 women sweepers in Owerri, and Owerri will look the way it is. And I decided to conduct a verification audit. And we also discovered so many ghost names that don't sweep. And I had to use the supervisors to know the exact number of women sweepers that work with them on a daily basis. I've received those reports. I've sent it to His Excellency. And His Excellency just yesterday approved the payment of all those women sweepers who had worked for the past 2 months during that verification. And they'll start receiving their money payment by Tuesday. Only those who have worked. Those names that are not there, as those who reported and worked, will never receive any payment. So don't be surprised you see people shouting that they worked and they are being owed. I have a register that are marked every day. When you come to work, you tick your, after work, you tick your register. I have it. And that is what I submitted to His Excellency. As now, those who work are 353 women sweepers and supervisors. I have the video of my verification at Hero Square. So if anybody wants to be involved, then the person should come on a fresh application. And secondly, since we have motorized street sweepers now, I'm going to remove the women from the A routes with high traffic distance and take them to the feeder routes. The big street sweepers will not be working at night on all the, like Owerri, Onitsha, up to Irete, Orogbe. I can't place any of my women sweepers to work on those streets because of the speed of the vehicles. I've had reasons to treat most of them who were knocked down. So I have decided, to come in fully and hedge all these issues and put them into one simple pot that we can run with.
Yes, that's why I say information is power, because every other time we hear from the radio, from all other medium that the state government have not paid the women street sweepers. So, but now you've heard it that about 810 were inherited from the former government, and the verification carried out revealed that about 353 persons are the people who work, and he has promised by from next week they will start receiving their salaries. That's a good one, cheering one. So, sir, I'm talking with the Chief Technical Advisor to the Governor on Environment, Chief Willie Amadi. The other issue I want to raise here is, during that time, Okada riding in Owerri has been banned by government because of the nefarious activities associated with them. But now, if you go everywhere now, the Okada people are everywhere. I know about 2 stories of people who were kidnapped within this new Owerri by Okada riders. And the lady opposite one hotel along Port Harcourt Road, somebody was on Okada, snatched her bag that contains so many other things. So the nefarious activities of Okada men, where are the has it been unbanned? And secondly, if you move around Owerri municipality and city, you see cart and truck pushers coming into the main city as if this place is a refuse dump. And they're looking at security nature of this country. Those people can carry, criminals and terrorists can carry arms and ammunition, hide them under those. Once you see something packed up, these Tekwajantis, you just remove your eyes, say, they are nothing. And the security expert says terrorists use the vehicles or the means with which you don't even expect that can contain all these things. So what are you doing to rid Owerri of Okada riders and the truck pushers, carts, or these people pushing truck inside the main Owerri city? One day I accosted some of them along Olu Road Junction. About 2 of them occupying 2 lanes on a very busy traffic. Everybody would see them and pass, but I parked my car, blocked them. What are you doing? You get out of the road. You're not supposed to be here. So what is government doing to enforce that type of law that has already been put in place in Imo State, especially Owerri capital?
Yeah, Tony, in 2008, I delineated the route for Okada operations in the capital city and also banned them. It was one of the most difficult tasks that I had to deal with. But thank God, we also recorded success. When we recorded success, the problem now became with the law enforcement agencies who had Okada being used for business for them. And if you catch any of them, they will tell you the owner is a policeman or whatever. Then I had to meet His Excellency, who asked me then, Governor Kakim, to go and meet the Commissioner of Police. I talked to the Commissioner of Police, and I told the Commissioner of Police that the only Okada I will allow within the prescribed area are Okada that is driving without a passenger, or
a uniformed
Okada that deals with delivery, other food, mail like DHL and all those things. Any person that is carrying any human being should not enter into those designated areas. Because if you defile it and you carry a passenger and my tax law catches you, they'll ask the passenger your relationship. We will separate you people and ask you what's his name. You tell me his name, and I'll ask her what's your name. You will not know. So which means it's a passenger. So we were able to deal with that issue, and we sustained it. The traffic, human and vehicular, have increased. Owerri, the capital city, has increased by 300%.
Right.
In terms of commercial activities. And you see an influx of non-Imolites who have been displaced during the security crisis in the north. Most of the young men from the north came in here to do Okada business. They also do this cart pushing and also wheelbarrows. Wheelbarrows become one of the most useless issue that is tormenting the state capital. All the wheelbarrows now have umbrella on them with words.
Now and become a shop.
Everywhere, at all junctions, you find them there. This was also as a result of the displacement from a Kuku and new markets. Before, you can only see wheelbarrow in the markets that help buyers to take their things from the market to the car and they go. I have made a proposal. The security implications of these wheelbarrow pushers and all those things are not known to the public. Very soon we will ban the use of wheelbarrows except in those markets where they are actually needed. Recently, those people have been cutting these rails. If you check this newly constructed roundabout, they use saw and cut those irons and they take them away. We have reported to the SSS. By the time we conclude all the activities, government will come out with a position on wheelbarrows, cart pushers, and all those stuff. And then the Okada drive must be renewed. But that falls under the Ministry of Transport and the Imo State Traffic Management Agency. Not under me, but I will also give them advice.
Yes, because they are creating nuisance to the environment. Okay, so finally time is up, and have one final question here. Let's see how we can manage it. The dwellers about Owerri Road, Okigbe Owerri Road, and Olo Owerri Road has been a good job done by the government. But the beauty is not yet being known by many people who don't apply that route. But we're hearing that very soon, maybe sometime in August, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria may likely come to commission these projects. And this for route which government of Imo State embarked upon, that goes to hygiene, the traffic, the nature, agri, and goes to the oil nations. Is the state government thinking that if the president will be coming, they can fix that road so that it will be one of the roads that the president, if by his grace he comes, will be commissioned?
Well, thank you for talking about those two roads. The Owerri Olo and the Owerri Okigwe roads.
And Aba Owerri.
You know they are federal roads.
Okay.
For the governor to embark on those roads means that a lot of state funds must have been sunk into that. They are dualized with street lights. And that makes Imo a one city state. You cannot go to Olo by 11 p.m. and by 11:30, quarter to 12, you're in your house with street lights. That's something that needs a lot of commendation. Now, the Owerri Umuahia road will be flagged off. The governor will confirm in August when the president will visit, but he's definitely coming to commission it. And maybe by God's grace, will refund money the state government has spent on those roads, which we can now plow back into the Owerri Umuahia road to Okigwe Road, Umuahia roundabout. Now the issue of the one to Avo, all those areas, the NDDC, NDDC is handling that. The road is under. I don't know if you've been there.
Yeah, but he stopped working.
He stopped somewhere.
Yeah.
Because of the rainy season.
Okay.
The NDDC is handling it in partnership with the state government, and they should be able to drive it, to its logical end after the rainy season.
Okay, that's how far I can go. The director has been telling me. You see, when you have Chief Willie Amadi, he talks slow, but he can talk more than 2 hours without breathing or taking water. So the Ukwachaka, one of Owerri and Omudo, and the Chief Technical Advisor to the Governor of Environment. Sir, we are honored to have you on 60 Minutes Live today.
Thank you, viewers and Imolites. I want to also appreciate you for your patience on the trial administration of Governor Uzodinma. Every government wants to give out its best, but for us, we have to encourage the government to give out the best.
Have you gotten your PVC?
Long time.
Okay, what do you tell your households?
Get your PVC.
Okay, that is the last word. Yeah, get your PVC, because good governance begins with you. Whatever you say, if you say your vote does not count, why do politicians give you money? For you to be in power, for you to put the money. If you say you want, go and get your PVC now. So that's how far we can go on 60 Minutes Live today. Same time, same station next week. On behalf of Tinju Dynamic Services, I say God bless Nigeria.
Amen.